Hello everyone, this is Xinhua Live. I'm Sun Qing. We are now broadcasting live from National Exhibition and Convention Center in Shanghai. And where we are now here is Shanghai International Automobile Industry Exhibition, Auto Shanghai 2017. The event actually starts tomorrow from April 21st to April 28th. So you are now with us on the press preview. With the theme of Committed to Better Life, Auto Shanghai this year will showcase the most cutting-edge technologies and products of automobile industry, including the hottest one like self-driving technology, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Vehicles. So as a lazy driver myself, I always have questions. How will those technology affect our daily lives? And how will they really enjoy the auto driving and self-driving technology with safety? Or maybe someday we can have a super smart car like Kit, which is the Knight Rider had in movie. Okay, it's much too expensive, right? So yes, today you are with us to have a tour in this event and looking for those high-tech trends and products which will bring infinite possibility to our daily life now or in next 5 to 10 years. So it's such a great honor today to have Mr. Ronald Depender. Yeah, CEO for Great China at Kantar Insights. So nice to meet you, Mr. Depender. And could you first please briefly introduce yourself to our audience and maybe talk a little about Kantar Insights?
Hey, at Kantar Insights, we are all about understanding consumers and how do they relate to products. So the relationship between consumers and cars. We are also into how do we make strong brands, and we work with a lot of Chinese brands who are going abroad. As China changes from a manufacturing economy to a brand building economy, it becomes very important. So one of the things we look at is the value of the top car brands in the world. How does the value of the global car brands compare to the Chinese car brands? We also look at new trends, like how mobility is coming in, connected cars is coming in, electric vehicles, and that's what we're going to talk about here today.
Mr. Pender takes deep research in auto industry and consumer markets, so today he will be an observer of our program and to bring us the insights on the current development of those technologies and how will they affect the auto market. So, Mr. Pender, what kind of technologies you are most interested in this event?
Today it's ACES, ACES, so autonomous cars, connected cars, electric vehicles, and then shared. And I think out of those four, the first three are the more important ones.
Okay, so today we will start our tour from the Nair. Nair is actually a new face of Auto Shanghai, and it's also the Nair's first show in China market. So let's go and take a look. Okay, and we are honored to have Chris. Chris, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yes, we are from Xinhua News Agency, and we are actually attracted by the vision car behind us. And its name is Yves, right? So could you please briefly introduce this to us?
Yes, this is the Neo Yves. It's our concept and vision for an autonomous future. And the car made its world debut last month in March at the Austin, Texas South by Southwest conference for us, and this really was showing all our blue sky thinking in one concept.
Okay, so what are new features of the exterior and interior of the car? And we look the space is quite look at the living room.
Yes, so the car really was designed from the inside out for autonomy and also as a second living space. So there's areas in the car to give you back your time to work, to relax, or discover the outside world. The exterior, the main feature is this one glass canopy that extends the whole length of the car, and it has smart technology that allows you to interact with your environment, either digitally or just to take in the view of the outside world.
Yeah. So how can we understand the autonomous driving? Is it can work without driver?
Yeah, so this is an autonomous car, and it's been specifically designed for that. So even there's no front driver door. So you enter at the rear because most of the time you will enter as a passenger as the car is self-driving by itself. And the steering wheel does retract, and it has the ability then to completely autonomously drive itself.
So what's this car suitable for? Suitable for the home driving or some lazy driver like me?
I think it's for both. I mean, it really is. We made the car to adapt to your needs and your moods. So you can do anything you want in their car. It's just going to be different people's different use cases.
So when will it on the market, and how about the price?
Well, right now we're working on bringing an autonomous car to market in 2020 in the U.S.
Thank you. Thank you much, Chris. Okay, Mr. Pender, Anaya is actually a Chinese company with its headquarters in Shanghai and the research center in the U.S. And it's just one of cases that Chinese e-commerce company cooperate car companies to working on the self-driving technology. So how do you think about the current situation about Chinese internet giant to work with car company to develop autonomous driving or self-driving technology?
It's a global trend, so it's very important that car manufacturer or OEM collaborate with technology and internet giants, because if you look at the development cycle, it's very different. To develop really high quality cars, which OEMs do, the development cycle could be many years, right? On the other hand, the technology companies are used to very quick, agile, fast turnaround. So if you look at the combination of these two is what will make things work going forward. Because you need to be agile, you need to be able to upgrade the technology, but you also need to have a very sound and safe equipment in the car.
We see this is actually a car space. It looks like a living room. And this is kind of image for the future car that maybe can be a living room because you have self-driving technology.
Yeah.
So how do you think about the space of the future self-driving car?
I mean, you raise the point of a private living room. That's very important because if you think about the original concept of the car, it's about my personal space, my personal bubble.
Yes.
So I think that is something that will continue, whether you are in an electric vehicle, connected vehicle. The concept of a car kind of protecting you and you being in your private space will always be there. Now, of course, what this now enables you to do is to focus on a lot more other enjoyable things rather than just the pure physical job of driving. So it will, earlier people would say, I get into a car for the pleasure of driving. Now, of course, the pleasure of driving will not be there in the sense of literally the pleasure of driving, but it will be there because you're enjoying the scenery or you're doing something else, which is not boring.
And in this car, there is an artificial intelligence engine, Normie, inside. It's placed like the heart of the car, that it can know your needs and your driving experience. So how do you think the artificial intelligence will work on the future car industry?
Yeah. So, the very concept of a connected car will work through artificial intelligence because you need personal assistants, which is voice activated, gesture activated, could be any which way activated. And then, of course, the autonomous car needs to be driven by artificial intelligence itself. I think by and large people will think about it positively because it personalizes things for you, but there will also be concerns around data privacy. Yeah, because finally there's a lot of data in artificial intelligence, and it's your personal data which exists in the cloud. So the positive thing about it is your personal data needs to be with the AI because that it can make your it can tailor your experience. But on the other hand, it is still very private data. So somebody knows where you are going. So if you go back to what I was saying earlier, the car earlier gave you a bit of privacy where no one knew where you were going and you were anonymous in your car. But now somebody can trace and people sometimes don't want that happening. Similarly, if the personal data exists and it is used to deliver advertising, you may welcome it or you may not welcome it. So I think it's space which is still developing, and people's expectations from the space are still developing, and there'll be a lot of trial and error of different monetizing methodologies before finalize something.
Okay, let's go and see the EP9. This is NIO's EP9, and we heard that drives autonomously without any intervention and makes a new lab record. So how fast EP9 can achieve, we can also see a video. EP9 just make a lot of lab records. So you can see from this video. It works without any human intervention.
Jerry, not Roger.
Jerry, okay.
Where do you want me?
Yes. Well, owner have Jerry in this exhibition. Okay, Jerry, we just see the EP9. So could you briefly introduce this to us?
Okay, so this is the EP9. It's the world's fastest electric vehicle, designed and built by NIO. Only 18 months ago, NIO had the idea to build the world's fastest electric vehicle, and at the end of last year in the Nordschleife in Germany, we realized that goal.
So how fast did the EP9 achieve?
Well, the EP9 has a calculated top speed of over 310 kilometers an hour. Obviously, the Nordschleife is a very unusual circuit, and so the VMAX there is probably a bit of a closely guarded secret, but the car has a VMAX potential of over 310 kilometers an hour.
And we just heard EP9 make the lab record for autonomous driving without any human intervention. So how can we understand the autonomous driving? This means that it's equals with the self-driving, and it can work without a human intervention.
Yeah, and I think it's a very interesting time for NIO. I think you just met with my colleague Chris, who talked about Yves. I think Yves, being the vision car of the future in terms of autonomous driving, gives the user an understanding of the environment that one would be in an autonomous vehicle. Certainly, when we applied the autonomous technology to the EP9, with the idea of going out there and being the fastest electric and autonomous vehicle in the world, that was all about showcasing the technologies in an autonomous vehicle. So yes, we beat the lap record for an autonomous vehicle at the Circuit of Americas in Austin, Texas in the USA with a lap time of 2:40. We also achieved the fastest VMAX for an autonomous vehicle, which was 257 kilometers an hour. So we managed to break a couple of records in doing that. But really, the application of autonomous technology to the EP9 is to showcase that next EV Neo can produce an autonomous vehicle.
So for the automatic system, how to ensure the precise control and safety under such a high speed? How to ensure the precise compute and also the safety under such a high speed?
Yeah, I think doing a lap record on a circuit such as the Circuit of Americas, it's a safe environment in which to undertake an autonomous lap record with technology which is still very much on a steep learning curve. I think that the years ahead of us will see huge improvements in terms of autonomous technology and all the safety systems that have to work with that. I think we're at the beginning of a very long journey for the road car industry.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. That's all about the NIO exhibition, and let's go around this event for looking for more technologies. Mr. Pender, actually there are a lot of discussions about the autonomous driving and the self-driving technology, and some pointed out they are actually different concepts.
Yeah.
And you have seen that there are some applications of autonomous driving like what NIO is doing, yeah. But some say it's still far away for the real self-driving technology. So what do you think about these two concepts?
I think finally only one of them will be alive, and my prediction is that it is going to be truly self-driving cars, which are the future. So it's very likely that you will not have something which is halfway. If you look at a lot of the development happening right now, it's kind of, there are two development routes. Some manufacturers are going straight for self-driving, 100% self-driving route. And the R&D required for that is very advanced, very different. A lot of the others, the majority is taking the gradual route, that you keep on increasing the level of autonomy. Yeah. But what is happening is a lot of these autonomy cars, they're kind of stuck in the middle because they want you to relax.
Yes.
But if there's an accident situation, they want you to immediately take charge, right? Now, if you look at the human brain and the capability of the human brain cannot do that. If you're relaxing and you're suddenly expected to be alert, then you will not be able to be alert.
Yes.
So I think there is a way of thinking which is saying that the government will finally lay out the regulation that only fully self-driving cars are allowed instead of semi-autonomous. But right now, I think people are enjoying semi-autonomous car. A study we did in China on semi-autonomous cars suggests that people actually feel, apart from, the boredom of driving, in China, the expectation is that semi-autonomous cars can actually improve the safety rate. In the West, they have a fear that it will reduce the safety rate. But in China, where a lot of drivers are new and they don't know how to drive well, they feel that a semi-autonomous car should be able to take over when the driver is about to make a mistake. So it's kind of very interesting how the China market is, and the consumer here is very different from the rest of the world. Yeah.
So how do you think the autonomous driving technology and self-driving technology will affect on China's consumer market in the next 5 to 10 years?
I mean, it'll be a huge impact. Because if you look at the amount of hours that people spend in their cars is huge. And suddenly if all that time is freed up, right, then the amount of demand that creates for extra entertainment, shopping, think of what people could be doing in all that time that they were focusing on the driving. If they don't need to do that, it creates a demand economy for many, many, many things. Of course, it will improve the quality of life for people, so that will make a big difference. We expect fewer accidents. We expect less congestion on the roads. We also expect that city life will become better as a result of that. Yeah.
Just to remind you, this is Xinhua Live, and we are now broadcasting live from National Exhibition and Convention Center in Shanghai, and this is this year's Shanghai Auto Show. And now we arrived in number 6 exhibition hall, and there are exhibitions for recreational vehicle, luxury cars, and the supercars. This year's Shanghai Auto Show will showcase the most cutting-edge technologies and products of automobile industry, including the hottest one like self-driving technology, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Vehicles. So today we are going to take you to a tour around this event, looking for those high-techs, trends, and products which shall bring infinite possibilities to our daily lives now or in next 5 to 10 years. And this is the exhibition of Chinese new energy car company Qiantu. This is an electric sports car, and the outlook looks very cool. And let me find someone to introduce this for you. We're honored to find Simon for introduction, and let's go inside for take a close look at it. Simon, yeah, the outlook of this car looks so cool. So could you please briefly introduce this to our audience?
Sure, my pleasure. Thank you very much. So this is the K50 convertible. So K50 comes from the Qiantu brand. It's new emerging pure electric automaker, and the K50 is its very first flagship product. And what we're looking at is a blue one with the black. Actually, we represent the low temperature just come from the ice test from very north part of China, which the temperature below the 30 minus. And this car has 2 electric motors. The summit output is 300 kilowatts. And we have 60 kilowatt hours battery, which allowed people drive more than 300 kilometers for one fully recharged. And the maximum speed is 200 kilometers per hour. And 0 to 100 kilometers is 4.6 seconds. Yeah, and we have aluminum chassis with full carbon fiber body, which is extremely lightweight technology. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we know that Qiantu is actually a new brand,
yes.
New energy car brand. So
Yes.
could you please introduce this brand for us?
Sure. Actually, Qiantu this company started at 2015, Its mother company is called CH Auto Technology, which has over 13 years experience of developing vehicles for the major Chinese OEMs. So it's a design house offering service from style design to the engineer solution. So with our own capability of development, we figure out the electric would be the future major power. So we use our capability to build a prototype, which just happened to follow the trend that the national offers a new license for the EV automakers, which is very good things.
Okay,
Yes.
so has it already on the market?
It will be ready by the end of this year. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Simon.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Okay, now we are heading to number 1 exhibition hall looking for China's domestic smart car there. So maybe it takes 10 minutes on the way, so let's see some video. We are now in #1 exhibition hall, and this is Chinese domestic brand Rowi. And it is created by China's largest outdoor maker, SAIC. And we will go to take a look at the RX5 car. And the car features an Alibaba-based developed software, YunOS for car, and is marketed as the world's first smart car. It sells quite good in China market and got 25,000 orders in its first month. And the car is already on the market since August last year. So let's go and take a look. Using the Chinese market, SAIC Rowi RX5 compared as a SUV as its base. The Alibaba Smart Car runs the company's YunOS system, allow it to automatically pay for fuel, parking, and tours. Other features include online service such like navigation, booking, and entertainment. And each smart car equipped with Alibaba's operating system has its own unique ID that allows the vehicle to recognize different users and make suggestions for the climate control, music, and nearby restaurants based on previous journeys. So the cell phone acts as a sort of a smart car for the Rowi RX5, carrying out functions such as locking and unlocking of doors, heating the seats, and displaying real-time vehicle information. So the YunOS will also be made open to developed, which allow for third-party apps to be installed and provide even more functionality at the driver's fingertips. So let's go inside for take a look. And this is a smart interface, and you can talk this for your orders. Maybe let's try if it can work. 打开天窗，打开天窗。Sorry, it cannot work because we don't have the key. Okay, so for this car, you can use your iPhone, like the smart key, and then you can order for a lot of orders like open the door and smart navigation, and for entertainments, you can order for the music you like. Hello, Mr. Pender. Yeah, this is Rowi's RX5, and this is actually a Chinese domestic make smart car. And compared to the developing technology like self-driving and artificial intelligence, it may be the realistic choice for the customers. So how do you think about the Chinese domestic company developing this kind of internet car?
I think the connected or internet car, or you could call it smart car, is really now going to be the basic expectation from all cars going forward, because people want to, either through their mobile phone or their car, they want to remain connected. So it creates a lot of personal connectivity opportunities, But I think the other thing about connectivity is how do you connect to other mobility options in the city. So you now have connected bikes, right? You will connect to public transport. So it's also about how do all these transportation options or mobility options in the city, how do they come together and contribute to a connected city? Yeah.
Yes, and what I can feel is that the concept of car is no longer remaining as a vehicle, but an effective tool for connecting to outside world. And I also read an article from your website about 70% to 80% of the new vehicles in European and American markets will be the internet car until 2018. So how do you think about this trend and how will it affect to car makers and to the consumer market?
Yeah, I think the way now consumers decide about which model to buy is changing. Earlier it used to be about the engine and the body and the brand. Now it's about that, but it's also about what level of internet connectivity does the car allow. So it's also going to be about the AI that gets loaded on it. What are the apps that you have a partnership with? So all of that, how are you connecting with the ecosystem of other partners becomes very important. Yeah, because a car manufacturer needs to be good at making the car. They cannot become like an app manufacturer. So they need to connect with other apps which enable convenience in life. So I think in a way the competition for these cars is the mobile phone, because the consumer has a choice of connecting to the world either through the car as a device or the mobile phone as a device. So it's a very interesting situation. Yeah.
And I read a report on Kantar website about big data redefine the auto industry. And it shows that virtual car networking and connections were all based on the internet. So one of the problems we concern is about security, just like you mentioned. So what kind of challenges will those changes will be to the auto companies and government policymakers?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in a way, the consumer, the first thing is about safety. So if you think about, it's about less about privacy, it's about physical safety. So if you think about the biggest negative press that is generated around self-driving vehicles is about somebody hacking into the software, and once you can hack over the software, you can take over the car, right? And then that can be a safety risk. So it's kind of almost like a positive. The positive is that a self-driving car can be more safe. The negative is a perception that somebody can hack it and take over. The other thing is if somebody sells your data, right, and then that data is used in a way which is about advertising to you without your permission. Now that is something that people will be worried about. Yeah.
So based on our today's visit today, so how do you understand this year's theme of Auto Shanghai 2017? And how do you think about the theme like committed to life?
No, I think so. What people are realizing is that cars were getting, especially in China with the amount of pollution and the concerns around pollution, the auto industry is realizing that it has to show to the world that it can also improve people's lives in terms of overall life. So you see a lot of mention about blue sky. Electric vehicles will also contribute to reduction of pollution. The other thing is it will give people more free time, it will give people more mobility, it will make cities better. So I think it's all about everybody coming together in the ecosystem and kind of making things better for everybody in the city and making cities better places to live in.
Yes, so how do you evaluate the technologies and exhibition and innovation of a Chinese domestic car company?
I think the Chinese companies are actually pretty good from a technology point of view, and I think they have a unique advantage when it comes to connected cars and so on. Because if you look at the ecosystem which will drive these, the internet ecosystem will be the Chinese internet ecosystem, right? So I have a feeling that in the new ecosystem, the Chinese brands will gain an edge over the foreign brands. But there's still a lot that the Chinese brands can learn from the foreign brands in terms of brand building, for example. in terms of creating consumer desire, that you want to be seen in that car. So if you think about what a consumer pays for the car, they pay not just for the technology and the functionality, they also pay for the emotion that is connected to owning a certain brand of car, that I want to be seen in that car. So I think that is an area that Chinese brands still need to work a lot harder on, so that they don't have to sell cheap and they can command the right premium that they're capable of commanding. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Pender. Thank you very much. Thank you for your insights.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, and in the future, Costco people, sorry, in the past, Costco people the freedom of mobility, and in the future, the cars will go one step further and give people the freedom of driving and giving them the freedom of time and more connections to the world. So I am really looking forward to it. So what will driving be like in the upcoming 5 to 10 years? Maybe what we have seen today here at Shanghai Auto Show will give you a first glimpse of something that we will get used in the near future. Our road stops are fascinating and breathtaking, but I am equally sure that as technologies develop so fast, the auto industry will continue to surprise us every single day. So that's all about today's program. And if you like it, please make comments and share our link. Thank you. I'm Sun Qing in Shanghai, and see you next time.